right, you can pull her out.
Okay, welcome to this week's episode of Luv Subbin. And yeah, like we said last week, we are heading north.
Right, we just finished our Thanksgiving in Travel's Rest in the city, and we have 5 travel days to get north. But we really don't know how this video is going to turn out.
Yeah, normally we have an idea. This time we just said, let's make this the Seinfeld of videos, and we'll just kind of...
Right, we'll just do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, see how it goes, and we may have to winterize on the road.
Right, and we're going to stop at our first stop, which is...
Colleton State Park.
Right, that we only visited once before, but it was dark when we arrived, and it was dark when we left. So that's something unusual there, so we'll get to see that one in daylight.
We almost got flooded out of Colleton.
Right, and that was the whole 95 debacle.
Yeah, they got 22 inches of rain that day. It was a rough day.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. So we had to do a detour, and that was a long tow day.
We'll see how things develop.
So we'll see how this video develops. We have no idea at this point, so we are just going to continue our way north. See you down the road. So bad luck to start our little trip up to Bennington, Vermont from Florida. We hit 3 gas stations. 2 of the gas stations had no gas at any of the pumps. This one is our 3rd one to try. We had empty tanks and it had no 87 octane gas. So we had to go with the 89 octane gas, and it cost $3.69. So goodbye to Florida until another time.
Hopefully not too far away.
Right. We like it here. So here comes our Georgia peach.
All right, so one other precaution that I take during freezing temperatures while camping is to remove my water hose. You can see that I don't have one of those heated water hoses. And what I'll do is I'll put it actually tonight, because it shouldn't be too bad. I'll put it in the compartment under the bed. That actually gets some warmth in it, so that should stay above freezing. It's also important to remove your water filter as well, because the water filter could also have a lot of water in it and will freeze and crack. So if it was to be super cold, I mean super cold, I'd probably bring the water filter inside. The hose is empty, of course, so that doesn't matter, but the water filter I'd probably bring inside if it was going to be super cold. Before we left Florida, we made sure that both of our propane tanks were filled. This one was getting a little low. That one was entirely filled, but you're in Florida and that's the time to get your propane filled, because that furnace eats a lot of propane. And if it gets into the 20s or the teens, which we've camped in before, that thing is going to basically run almost all night, and you are going to eat a lot of propane. So make sure both your propane tanks are filled before heading up north. Okay, so as temps are scheduled to go below freezing again, we have full hookups at this site. So in that case, it's the rare instance that I will leave both my sewer valves open. And I'll do that to drain any gray or black water from those pipes into the sewer hose, versus them sitting there just before the valve and potentially freezing. Now, if I don't have full hookups, what we'll be doing is pouring some RV potable antifreeze down both the black and the gray drain, so that the antifreeze sits in that position in the pipe, and will hopefully keep things from freezing at that point. But here with full hookups, I'll open the valves right before we go to bed, and then get up in the morning and immediately close them after temperatures get above freezing. And one other thing to remember, like in our winter camping video, is we'll bring liquids inside that have the potential to freeze. So anything like our cranberry juice, our tote of sparkling water, and also Cindy's herb garden. will be brought inside so that they don't freeze.
Excellent. So we have this very interesting looking mushroom growing in a knothole in this tree here. Comment below if you have seen this one before and if you can help me identify it, because I'm currently researching.
All right, as we continue making our way north, we've stopped for the night at Claytor Lake State Park in Dublin, Virginia. It's right off of I-81 on our way up. And you can see it's pretty much just us and that Super C. We were at the same campground in July on our way down to Tennessee, and it was crushed. You know, obviously every site was filled, kids playing, there's a lake, you know, tent set up. It was just what you can envision as a really busy, fun, lively campground. And in December, pretty peaceful. You can have water if the temperatures are above freezing, which they will be tonight, but there's no use for us hooking up water just for one night. We have hooked up power in case we need the furnace. And the sites here are huge. I've shown this before. But yeah, it's a super nice stop off for those of you traveling up and down I-81. Yeah, and here's an example of one of the sites that's not occupied. You can see it's nice and level. Really well groomed. Clean fire pits, fireplaces out of the way, or picnic tables out of the way. You can see tonight we've just got electric hookup, as I said. We're not taking any cold weather precautions because it should only go down to about 40 tonight. I'm going to say hitched up with just a slight little nose up there. Have a good night. Second to the last night on this 2021 season.
So as you can see, I've finished the dishes, completely done with water. I've let Rich know outside that we're completely done with water, and we are going to start our winterization on the road routine. And you can see in the background something that's kind of handy to have when you're winter camping is a dehumidifier, and it's doing pretty well. If you can see, that's as much water as it's gathered since yesterday, so I think it's doing its job. So we are going to start this winterization process.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and winterize on the road, and we're doing that because it probably will be dark by the time we show up or close to it. It's supposed to be in the low 20s in Bennington. A lot of people ask, do you winterize when you drive? And if, you know, last year when we did this, we got caught with our pants down kind of, and it was snowing and nasty, and it did dip below freezing. But for the most part, the cabin was still warm, kept the pipes fine. Now, if we were to travel for an extended duration below freezing, we would definitely have it winterized like we will today. And I'm not going to go ahead and go through the whole winterization process because that'll be linked up top here. We've got a great checklist that you can download for free. We've done it over 20 times in Vermont without ever having an issue, so I think we've got a pretty good system if you want to check it out. The other thing people ask, well, do you run your furnace if you're going to tow for an extended duration with the temperatures below zero or temperatures below freezing? And the answer to that is no. I would never want an open flame lighting off inside my rig with the possibility that, say, a propane line could come loose or leak or something, fill the rig with propane, and then the furnace goes off and boom! We've all seen pictures on the internet of rigs on fire, and you're like, how can that happen? Well, that's probably one way it can happen. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that same process of winterization that we do in the video, only this time we're doing it on the road. We've got our kit. It's extremely important to have your kit, and plus it's important to have your winterizing fluid, your potable, and yes, it's potable RV antifreeze. It's not poisonous antifreeze like what you put in your truck, along with you, because if you're in South Carolina or Florida or even North Carolina and you're trying to find potable antifreeze, you're going to be out of luck. Even sometimes in the north, this time of year, places tend to sell out. As you can see, we're still hitched up, so it's not really convenient to go to a Walmart and find stuff. So we've got our jugs of antifreeze in the truck, and I do both blow out the lines as per our video and add the potable antifreeze. There's been a lot of discussion about potable antifreeze. Yeah, we add it just from the off chance that there's some type of fluid water that pools or condenses and then gets into a hinter region. I don't want that stuff freezing, so that's why I add it to my fresh water tank, etc. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this done.
So we're getting close to Vermont. What are the odds, do you think, of us having snow in our driveway or snow blocking the driveway?
Yeah.
We're seeing some snow piles here and there.
Yeah, where the plows have plowed snow in the piles.
Right, and they've historically done that always on our drive.
Yeah. You can't help it when you're plowing the road. They don't plow the driveway, so they just plow snow into a big pile.
Right.
And they've having to shovel snow. It's gonna stink.
Well, we'll see what happens. I give it 50-50.
All right, as you can see, Cindy there starting the unload process. You can see the sub is docked and chocked at home. And our driveway was clear. There you have it. So if you like this video,
give us a big thumbs up.
And if you think we've earned a subscription, click the subscribe.
And comment below if you've winterized on the road and how it went for you.
Because we come out with RV and Airstream related videos just like this one every Tuesday.
Thanks for watching.